Lisa Leach from Leach Global Travel. Today I'm going to do a review of the Diamond Princess ship, which is normally stationed in Japan and going around Japan. This cruise in particular went to Vietnam after Japan and then on to Singapore, which is where we picked up our cruise. This is a round trip Singapore. It went to Malaysia and Thailand. This ship is an older ship. I would say it was a mid-sized ship. It has 2,700 passengers capacity, around 1,100 crew members. It first started sailing in 2004. It had some major refurbishing in 2014 and 2019. In 2020, they put in the Medallion technology, which I'll show you later, which is one of the coolest features of the ship. Another unique feature, I believe maybe the only one at sea, is the Izumi Japanese baths. I'll show you some videos of that. Because it's normally in Japan, they have kind of like an onboard. They're trying to basically create the onboard onsen experience, but onsen, I believe, is for spring baths in Japan, so they'll call it Izumi baths. But typically it's in Japan. This ship did a cruise before ours from Singapore, was in Vietnam. So over 800 people on this ship actually were on the previous cruise. So these back-to-back cruises, a lot of people on the ship, are going to be on it for like 24 days, which is a long time to be on a ship. Anyhow, we are doing, we left from Singapore round trip, went to Malaysia and Thailand. We're on our last sea day before we get back to Singapore. A lot of people add a day on the front end of their trip, or several days in Singapore. We did 1 day prior to the cruise, and we have 2 days in Singapore at the end of the cruise. But we'd always wanted to go to Singapore. It's one of the reasons we picked this cruise. One of the things I will talk about in this video, I'm going to try to break it up into segments, but I'm going to first start talking about the room. One of the nice features is the technology. So if you see, this is a medallion. You can either get this mailed to you or you will get it when you check in, and it is awesome, I have to say. There are other cruise lines that have something similar, but this is a little bit more advanced, I think, than other cruise lines. You don't have to worry about your key. I personally put this on because I always have my phone with me. I bought this clip for $6, by the way. Normally they give you like a necklace, but this I just put onto my phone, and I never have to worry about opening the door because it is my key. So it senses where you are in the ship and opens the door automatically for you, which is lovely if you're carrying, food or whatever from the buffet. That technology is really, really nice, and it is connected all over the ship. So you can find people on the ship because it knows where your travel partners are on the ship, and you can locate them. And you can turn that off if you'd like. It's connected to the casino machines. It's connected to the restaurants. So the restaurants, when you walk up, they know exactly who you are. Also connected into customer service if you're having an issue. They immediately pops up on the screen who you are, what your cabin is, and if there's any issues, because we had some issues with our AC. And that was really a nice feature. You didn't have to explain, why you were coming to customer service, because they knew you already had an issue. That technology is really, really cool. It's the most sophisticated one I've ever seen on a cruise ship, and we've been on Celebrity, MSC, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, NCL. They may all be getting this technology soon, but it is right now. I think it's pretty unique. Here's a quick video of how your medallion, basically, as you can see, the door is unlocked. You can read on here who the people in the cabin are, and then you can turn on your privacy here and whether you want your stateroom serviced. As you see, there's a green light. It just went off, but it automatically, I have to reset it. And see, it says access being verified, and then it goes green again. So as a wonderful feature to have these medallions on the Princess cruises. Here is the walk-in, sort of a walk-in closet here. We've got a full-length mirror. You got a safe, some shelves here. There's the bathroom. I don't know if I explained, but anyhow, we had an inside cabin because we got a free cruise from being a travel agent. You get a free cruise when you graduate from the Princess Academy. There's the bathroom. And we bid on upgrading to a balcony, and we just got upgraded about maybe 2 or 3 days ago. Here's our bed. It's a nice sized bed. We've got some USB-C ports, looks like in the, I'm hoping there's a plug on the side here because we have a lot of things to plug in. There's mirror, LCD. This is the, looks like the thermostat here. There's a tea kettle with, looks like either Chinese or Japanese tea, I'm not sure. Maybe Chinese, I'm not sure. Anyhow, and a tea kettle, which I like. And we have a refrigerator and nice desk here with some of the information about the ports and what's going on today. Phone, a hair dryer, and we got a balcony. Pretty happy about this. We did pay about, I think, $1,200 to upgrade from inside to a balcony. Okay, let's talk about food and dining. My husband and I both have food allergies, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. But in general, I will say that I have been fairly happy with the food. We went on an MSC ship in November, and the food was not good. The food on this ship has been pretty good. I've had a meal that wasn't very good, like really not good at all, but then all the other days it was better than, I would say, good to very good. We have been going to the Santa Fe dining room, which is the smaller dining room, at night, and there is a great maitre d' guy. His name is Arvin, and he knows we have food allergies. He has taken such good care of us. I mean, he is really my favorite person on the ship because he has been wonderful. My husband had a little stomach issue, and he was asking where he was, how he was every day, that he wasn't there with me. It was just super nice to have somebody that you felt like really care about you. But the food was pretty good. And actually the buffet, let me talk about the buffet. It is a little smaller than most ships that I've been on. The food has been good though. So there was a couple of dishes that I had that were delicious on the buffet. So, and then also with food allergies, I asked for like scallop potatoes that didn't have cheese on them, and they went back and they got me some, which was really nice. They do have gluten-free desserts, just FYI, in the buffet. If you go to the so on sea days, you can go to lunch in the restaurants. So when you have food allergies, you typically order the day before. And one of the things that I do like about Princess, and this is just me, I'm gluten and dairy free, is they actually have a dessert made for gluten and dairy free people. So I can actually have a dessert, which on a lot of ships, they don't do anything for desserts. I give you some fruit, you know. So anyhow, that's just a food allergy thing. You know, you order the night before from the menu, and Arvin has just been wonderful. I mean, he's always thinking ahead. And then we'll see tonight. I actually asked him for something chocolate tonight for dessert, so we'll see what I get. Anyhow, that's most of, let me talk about we did the chef's table, which is $105 per person. So, you know, it's a little pricey, but we've done this on other ships as well, and it's been really, really good. So I wanted to try it on Princess. And you basically go down, you meet the executive chef and the gentleman that's over all of the front end staff for the restaurants and kitchen. And they introduce themselves, and they take you on a tour of the galley. And then they sit us down to a beautiful table, and there's 7 courses, and I will show the menu. There was champagne and wine for each of the pairings, and then they did a dessert wine at the end. The food was delicious. It was very good. A little seafood heavy. If you don't like seafood, just mention it. Somebody had a shellfish allergy. So just, you might want to put that on your preference sheet. They were able to make everything gluten and dairy free for me without much, not a huge change. So yeah, it was 7 courses and paired with wine, and the desserts were spectacular. Probably too much food, that always is. But the whole experience was really good, and I would highly recommend it. Let's talk about entertainment. The entertainment was, I thought, very good. The dancers, the singers, very, very good. We had, I think, a comedian magician who was from New Zealand, I believe, who was quite funny, and that was very entertaining. They have a band / orchestra on board. So last night, the dancers performed to a live orchestra, basically, and it was really good. The dancing was good. The music was really good. I was quite impressed by that. So they do have, so as far as activities are concerned, they do have Zumba on board that you don't have to pay for. Almost all the other classes you have to pay for. This is a big pet peeve of mine when I'm on cruises. They have gotten, it's kind of similar to, I won't say spa because you always have to pay for spa, but everything other than going into the gym and using the equipment, there's a charge for it. There's charge for yoga classes. There's a charge for stretch classes. The only other, besides Zumba, which are only on sea days, do they do Zumba, usually in Club Fusion at 9 o'clock, which I love Zumba, so I participated in that. There's Tai Chi in the morning, but it is not led by a live instructor. It's on the large screen by the pool, and you can do Tai Chi, and people did take part in that. Every morning they do have that. So that's kind of nice. But I've been on other ships and they had a Tai Chi led instructor that led the Tai Chi. So that's just kind of a thing for me that I'd like to give feedback to the cruise lines, is they just need to have more just stretching classes, just basic stretching classes, on the ship. I just think yoga, I don't know. Write in the comments what you think. Don't you think that yoga should be free on cruise ships? Just say. I don't know. As far as other activities, there is pickleball. There's 1 court. There's ping pong. There's shuffleboard. There's some activities. I would say this cruise is a little bit lacking on activities versus other ships. I don't know if it's the demographics, if they change that. Like, for example, I've been on a Princess cruise before out of Galveston. It was spring break, so there was going to be a lot of younger people on it, I guess. They did they're kind of known for doing the Princess choir. I'm not sure if that's the exact name, where you can participate, you practice, and then you perform. And they didn't have that on this. This is a 11-night cruise. And for whatever reason, they just didn't have it. There were some days where I really was looking for activities, and I just, couldn't find really anything. A lot of shopping activities. There's always art auctions. There were some ballroom dance classes, line dance classes. I did participate in a line dance class, which was fun. But there's tango classes and that kind of thing. Usually in the evening, which I thought was interesting. I probably would have had a better chance at participating in that had it been in the middle of the day versus during dinner time. The demographic on this particular cruise, lots of Australians, lots of people from England and the United Kingdom, and a fair number of Americans as well, as other, just all over the world, Taiwanese, Japanese, Vietnamese. It's a very, very diverse clientele on this particular cruise. It's been, all in all, for activities, it's been fine. It's a very port intensive cruise. So in the very beginning, there's no sea day before you start hitting ports. It's 3 ports in a row. You go into Malaysia for 2 days and a day in Thailand for Phuket, and then you go back to Penang, Malaysia, and then you go around Singapore, and then you come up the other side. You hit Koh Samui. So Koh Samui is only You have to be on the ship back by 3. Very short. I'd love to see them make that longer. One of the other things that a lot of people just say in general is longer time in the ports. The one exception to that was, I think, really good is, they call it Bangkok, but it's really Pattaya, or they call it Lam Shabang is the port that you land in that's close to Pattaya. You still have to take, I don't know, about 20-25 minutes. So in order to go from the port in Pattaya, Lam Shabang port, to Pattaya is about a 20 or 25 minute taxi ride. And then to go from Lam Shabang's port to Bangkok is about 2 hours. In summary, overall, I really enjoyed the Princess Cruise out of Singapore. I would highly recommend it for anyone that's always wanted to go to Singapore and Malaysia and Thailand. It's a great overview. If you want to spend more time in each of the countries, of course, I think you need to add a land package onto your cruise. If you're interested in this cruise in particular, feel free to reach out to me to ask any questions. I do own a travel agency called Leach Global Travel. I can help you, get booked onto this cruise if you're interested in it. And I think there's going to be a second ship, a princess ship that's going to be in Japan other than this ship. This ship is probably, I'm not sure when it's going to be refurbished, but I think it's probably going to be refurbished fairly soon. That might be why they're bringing that second ship into Japan. Comment below if you know. But yeah, it's been a wonderful cruise. Service has been really good. The food has been good. The entertainment has been really good. So I think overall I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.